past few years, Nigeria has continually lagged behind in the Global Competitiveness Index. According to the World Economic Forum report of 2014-2015, the country ranked 115th out of 144 countries assessed and had about 103 export products and commodities rejected at the international market. Also, within this same period, the European Union had given the country a deadline of June 16, 2016 to put management systems in place to reduce pesticide-contaminated food products being exported to the region or face continued rejection of her exports. This, of course, is not a good perception for a developing economy like Nigeria, particularly at a time when she is intensifying the drive to diversify her economy away from oil. Welcome to another interesting moment on Export Digest. My name is Femi Boyede. Nigeria is the second largest producer of sesame seeds in the world after another African country, Sudan, producing 229,167 metric tons in 2011. The commodity is exported majorly as seeds, ranking amongst the top exported products from Nigeria. However, even at this level of production, there are some challenges militating against the exportation of this commodity. Contamination of the field and supply chain and aflatoxin control are some of the trading problems identified which these seeds seem to be having at the international market. Worried by this, and with the desire to ensure that more commodities contribute to the nation's foreign exchange earnings, Nigeria Export Promotion Council, NEPC, in technical partnership with the World Trade Organization, WTO, organized the STDF Project 172. The objective was to address seeds and sesame seeds and shea butter production in Nigeria, and to ensure that the nation's comparative advantage is transformed into competitive advantage in the global market and to enhance non-market groups. The project attracted domestic commitment and support from states and local governments, communities, as well as other institutions. With $170,000 financial contribution from the NEPC, processing centers were created with 4 each for shea butter and sesame seeds in 8 states of the Federation for the installation of the equipment to improve the production capacity and compliance of the shea butter and sesame seeds with sanitary measures. This is expected to make these commodities competitive at the international market and increase the nation's foreign exchange earnings from the non-oil export sector.
Nigeria is the world's largest producer of shea nut, producing 325,610 metric tons in 2010. Until recently, shea butter was the native source of edible oil or fat traditionally used for frying, adding to sauces, as a skin pomade, for medicinal applications, to make soap, for lanterns, and for cultural purposes at ceremonies. The main problem encountered with export of shea products is its free fatty acid FFA and aflatoxin content in the kernels while in storage. While for the shea butter, the main problem is rather both the FFA and impurities. The STDF Project 172 was conceived to address the quality issues associated with sesame seed and shea butter production in Nigeria, towards ensuring that the comparative advantage the country has in production is transformed to competitive advantage in global marketing and enhance non-oil export growth. The major donors for this project include the World Trade Organization, WTO, and NEPC. As for the budget distribution, the backing from WTO and the NEPC are 65% and 35% respectively, while the various states involved contributed through construction of shelters to house the equipment, as well as provision of facilities like borehole water and electricity, while the local communities donated the land. The STDF Project 172 is implemented in collaboration with some national institutions, and they include Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, National Agency for Food and Drugs Administration and Control, NAFDAC, National Cereals Research Institute, NCRI, International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, IITA, Standards Organization of Nigeria, SON, National Center for Agricultural Mechanization, NCAM, National Stored Product Research Institute, NSPRI, National Sesame Seed Association of Nigeria, NSSAN, National Shea Products Association of Nigeria, NASPAN, the Agricultural Development Project, ADPs, the 8 states, Nigeria Agriculture Quarantine Service, NAQS, Nigerian Institute for Oil Palm Research, NIFOR, Federal Produce Inspection Services, FPIS, Forestry Research Institute of Nigeria, FRIN, Nigerian Agricultural Extension Research and Liaison Services, NAERLS. The project beneficiary states and locations are for shea, nut and butter, Oyo State, Kwara State, Kebbi State, Niger State. At the implementation stage level, the NEPC is the implementing agency for the STDF Project 172. The International Trade Center, ITC, is the supervising agency, and an international consultant, IC, was recruited to provide technical inputs and guidance during the project implementation. The project has 5 components of various activities, spearheaded by the lead agencies with assistance from the supporting agencies for effective implementation, with the International Trade Center, ITC, supervising, and the international consultant, IC, providing technical inputs and guidance in the course of implementation. The 5 components of the project include Component 1, baseline documentation, improving documentation on current practices of quality control for Nigerian sesame seed and shea products exports. Component 2, quality control and traceability, implementation of robust field quality control system for Nigerian sesame and shea products. Component 3, capacity building, train producers, traders, exporters and standards enforcement officers to adopt and implement the improved food quality management system. Component 4, information sharing and empowerment, disseminating project information, studies and results to all stakeholders. Component 5, collaboration and sustainability, strengthening the public-private dialogue and partnership in the Nigerian shea nut and sesame seed sectors. The project commenced with the start-off meeting of stakeholders on the 14th of October 2010, followed by mobilization of the project's collaborating institutions. This was thereafter followed by briefing of the major institutions on the work plan, outlining their responsibilities and related assigned tasks, and also the mobilization of the relevant institutions, agencies and stakeholders, saddled with various assignments as listed in the project document. Series of advocacy visits to the 8 participating states by NEPC officers followed, spearheaded by the project coordinator, during which the states were briefed about the project and their support solicited to ensure its successful implementation. In January 2011, the representative of ITC, Ms. Lodovica Gizzoni, visited to meet with stakeholders of the project and chart the focus for its implementation. She returned in February and August 2013 to consolidate the gains of her earlier call and provided the necessary direction for effective implementation. She visited again in May 2014 for the final workshop to evaluate and end the implementation of the project in Abuja.
This workshop is a culmination of 4 years of hard work and commitment from everyone involved towards making the project a successful outcome. I've introduced some of the people that worked on this project to you. The project is sponsored 65% by the World Trade Organization, WTO, and 35% by the NEPC and the International Trade Center, ITC, being the supervising agency. The International Trade Center, as you are aware, is the United World Trade Organization body responsible for promoting trade and trade assistance to developing countries.
I'd like to thank all the numerous resource persons that will contribute today and tomorrow in their respective areas of expertise. I hope that in a short period I will be able to buy sesame seeds and shea butter in Europe. There is a huge demand for them. We are just waiting to receive, the products from Nigeria, and I promise you that they will be bought if the quality is there. So I wish again to congratulate all the stakeholders for the effort made today, and I wish the final workshop success and good luck in your future endeavors. Thank you very much.
The project has recorded widely acclaimed success in implementation. Towards the end of the program, we were able to organize a training program and workshop in collaboration with the Nigeria Series Research Institute on the report of Component 1. Other achievements include organized stakeholders fora, engagement of investors, and commissioning of the completed projects with a lot of fanfare to showcase its successful conclusion.
No nation depends on one source of revenue if it hopes to create a sustainable economic development and a future for its citizenry. Countries like Malaysia, India, Singapore, and even Kenya have all grown and sustained their respective economies through non-oil exports. Our vision at the Nigerian Export Promotion Council is to promote non-oil export as the key driver of the Nigerian economy through strategic diversification of the economy from oil to non-oil. NEPC is strategically positioned to do more through our action plan on 13 national strategic export products, Zero Oil Plan, the One State, One Product Initiative, and the Nigeria Diaspora Export Program, which are needed pillars of success in our National Industrial Revolution Plan. Investing non-oil export business and reap bountifully. Export business guarantees a prosperous future through inclusive wealth and job creation. Join hands to make Nigeria one of the top 20 largest economies in the world. Export business, tomorrow's business. For further inquiries, visit our website on www.nepc.gov.ng.
Okay, now let's take some export tips now. And when we return, it will be time for Spotlight. You don't want to miss a bit of export tips. A report by the National Bureau of Statistics in the third quarter of 2011 on Nigeria's trade showed that mineral products, raw hides and skins, leather, textiles and associated articles and vehicles, aircraft, and associated spare parts represented the highest growth in imports between the third quarter of 2011 and the same period of 2010. While crude oil exports contributed just a mere 94.3% of total exports. This no doubt was the reason behind the Apex Bank's ban on importers of 41 items from accessing the official forex window from 2015. But then, if Nigeria's non-oil export sector must develop, Nigerian manufacturers must ensure standards and Nigerians must begin to buy Nigerian. Nigerians have continued to spend the nation's foreign reserves at least a big part of it, on the importation of finished consumer products that could be sourced locally if efforts are made to patronize made in Nigeria products. This time on the program, we spotlight a Nigerian whose drive is in making Nigerians to buy Nigeria. William Otabil is the founder of Buy Niger Project, a passionate Nigerian and Buy Niger ambassador.
Okay, sir. Buy Nigeria, what's the philosophy behind it?
The Buy Niger Project, first of all, is an initiative being run by us and the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. It is a Buy Made in Nigeria campaign. It is also the platform for running the local patronage pillar of the Nigeria Industrial Revolution Plan. And the Industrial Revolution Plan has 7 pillars: infrastructure, finance, skills, standards, innovation, local patronage being one of them. You'll agree with me, like you just said in your intro, that the end point of all industry, every trade, every investment is consumption.
Yeah.
So if the people do not buy what they produce, all investment, all trade, all industrial efforts will collapse. And over the years, Nigerians, I don't know how we got there, but our consumption pattern has become very obnoxious. I say obnoxious in that any child who does not eat or like the mother's food and prefers neighbor's food is a funny child.
Yeah.
Any husband who says the wife's food is not good and likes to go to other women is a funny husband.
Yeah.
Therefore, no matter what, we must love our own, because the large population you just talked about now, if we harness our large population and patronize what we produce locally, we already have a large army that will generate enough income that will increase the production capacity of existing industries. Sometimes the elites will tell you, oh, the quality. I said, they should stop telling me that lie. It's an excuse. Any man who wants to divorce his wife can find 1,000 reasons.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to patronize something, the quality is low. But I have gone around the country and I've discovered that Nigerians are people of excellence. Our cables and electricals are the best.
Yeah.
Our pharmaceuticals, there is no registered pharmaceutical company recognized by the Pharmaceutical Association and the regulatory agencies that produces any substandard product. We are people of finesse. Yes, you can say packaging is bad because the micro and small enterprises don't have easy access to finance. People are ready to do the best. If there are 37.2 million micro and small medium enterprises, according to Smedan and
The Nigerian Bureau of
Statistics 2013, 37.2, and only 3% have access to production capital, and about 36 million of them are informal sector. Just like I was discussing with a colleague of mine in one meeting we just held. He said there is no way you want to use formal system to fund the informal sector, and it will work. It will not work because you have a formal package.
Yeah.
You have all the list of the things that you want the informal sector to fulfill before they can access funds. So all those funds are there. But at Buy Niger, we have seen all those things, and we have gone beyond jingles, advocacy, and all manner of, I won't call it noise making or media. Campaign. And we are now entered into practical value chain and supply chain management. Where you say they are not available, we say no. We have a one-stop platform we have designed. We are working together with MAN so that you will know the companies that manufacture what is their price, what is their local content, and standard organization certification, NAFDAC certification.
I had the opportunity of living in Zaire Congo Democratic Republic when Mobutu Sese Seko was the president. And for as long as he was alive, no Zairian citizen was allowed to put on suit, because under the suit you needed a tie. So if they saw you on the street of Kinshasa in a tie, they knew immediately that you were a foreigner. However, he designed his own type of suit that was made with the Zairian and
local fabrics.
And if we have Nigerians consuming 10%, I mean 10% of Nigerians consuming the local fabrics and the shoes, I'm beginning to think that we will be on the path of industrialization. That's why I'm asking, really? How involved is the government?
Yes, I would say government is trying their best. At least there is a looking inwards.
Yeah.
And everybody now, either by default or not, this present regime is looking inwards. And I believe that the Honorable Minister of Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment and the Honorable Minister of State are very committed to the industrialization of the nation and local patronage in particular into the cotton, textile and garment value chain. Now, people will say, why will we just begin to wear made in Nigeria when the leadership is not with us?
Yeah.
Therefore, we are appealing to the elites to support Mr. President as he launches the Dress Niger Day initiative. The elites at all levels, whether they be politicians, whether they be organized private sector, informal sector, market women, let all of us agree in one mind and one accord to obey as Mr. President launches the Dress Niger Day initiative. Every Nigerian, even if you don't love Nigeria too much, just manage wear made in Nigeria fabrics and garments and shoes. Some people say we've tried it before. Dressing cultural using imported fabrics is not Dress Niger Day.
No.
Dress Niger, because some people, their cultural attire from the cap to the shoe is imported.
Yeah.
So just simply because your tribe wears it doesn't make it good. So I'm appealing, there are surviving industries. Government should make that declaration for military and paramilitary. These people make these things. This is made in Ikeja by woolen and synthetic. It's beautiful, it's strong. These shoes are made in Abuja. They also make them in Aba. And they are top quality. And in Kano.
I know a company in Kano that supplies the military boots for the military in Guatemala.
Yes.
That's a fact.
They are there, they are here. So we should love our own. So government, we believe in this dispensation, is very committed to that. So we want a full support from state governors, local government chairmen. Let them begin to influence their public procurement.
That's where the issue of policy comes in.
Yes.
Because it should no longer be a matter of I desire. If the leader says, this is what I want, that is what will be done. If there is a policy, like I gave the example of Mobutu Sese Seko,
yes.
God help you if you were a Zairian and you were caught in suit. We are not in a military era, I understand. But if the government says and the government does
and encourages,
yes, then I'm sure that people will
fall in love.
Well. That's all time will permit us to take this time around on Export Digest. Next week, we shall be throwing our spotlight on another burning issue critical to a smooth and profitable exploration of the non-oil export sector. For further inquiries, specific questions and comments on the program, and especially sponsorship and advertisement, please send a mail to our email address currently scrolling on your TV screen. As usual, you can also watch previous editions you may have missed on our website, femiboyede.com/webtv. You may also contact us on our other social media platforms. Until I come your way again, I am Femi Boyede, telling you as usual to always do export and watch Export Digest. See you next time.